Divine Danoon and Grand Night to the beautiful deity watching this video, to Divine Reflection, Divine Messenger, and we are back with another message. And understand, if you choose to, if you enjoy these videos, make sure you like, comment, subscribe for more divine messages. And thank you to the people who are also subscribed to the Patreon as well. So thank you to the Patreon family also. There'll be more videos coming up this week. Yeah, in that basis. I was trying to find words for that, but anyways, for today's video, on top of that too, excuse me for the sound, you know, it feels good outside. I'm going to just tap into nature because, you know, it's been raining a couple days here in Georgia, but it feels very great outside and the energy is it's potent. And I feel like right now I'm in Miami because it's like a lot of times too in Miami, you got the sand and stuff over here, but then you got like the trees for the background. It's like, I just like the sky. Shit is beautiful outside, man. So anyways, don't take life for granted. The basis of this video, we're basically understanding how you're able to leave the black box, the mental prison of your ego, and how you're able to go into the astral realm, ether realm, quantum realms, higher realms than that. I call them absolute domains over dominions, because dominions are literally governing and watching all these realms that we are governed and embodied by. And actually we're embodied by these realms too. So we're basically understanding for today how you're able to leave the realm that you're in right now, so 3D simulation that you're mentally in, and then how you're able to not only rise or ascend above that, how you're able to work not against, but you're working with these divine beings. Because for one, we gotta understand too that these higher, so there's like seraphim, cherubim, principalities, dominions, virtues, archangels, like there's all these higher orders of hierarchies of angels. Because we got to understand as well that we're going to leave this Tesseract, if we're going to leave this mental enslaved prison that we are mentally enslaved in, we have to be able to, for one, we got to leave our body. But before we even do that, because we got to understand too that there is a war going on in the astral realm right now. And the thing is too, I'm speaking from experience, because when I usually go to bed at night recently, even like this whole entire year, I've been going to bed, you know, pretty early. I've been doing great for myself. I ain't even gonna lie. You have as well. I've been going to bed, and like when I would go into these different realms, it's just like I'm seeing so many messages that are coming to me in the physical reality. And so I make a video about it. But it's just like even today, it's like I'm seeing so many people who are still getting enslaved by their habits. And the thing is too, they don't really know that you're not awakened yet, because spiritually you're not giving yourself that benefit that you keep on doubting yourself in. So for one, the best way for you to leave your body and be aware and conscious of what you're getting yourself into, you got to understand that for one, you have to be able to, you got to fast for one. Actually, key thing, save your energy. That's the most important thing, is saving your energy. Because if you're going to go into these battles with these hierarchies of angels, you have to be able to present yourself at a higher enlightenment or a higher environment so you're not toxic for their ascension. Because if you play any game, or if you just watch anime, if you understand what the energy, oh, wow. Okay, relax. If you watch these shows, very windy, I apologize, but these shows, they're showing you that the higher that these beings go for their energy, they're able to understand that their energy is able to help them fight stronger. Not only just stronger, but it's able to help them understand what they're getting themselves into, because they have to get their energy from a higher source that they believe in. Not even just believing in it, they know what that belief system is that they are believing in, because them knowing what they are makes them get stronger. Not only that, they're training every single day. They're training the mind, because of course the mind is bored. So all these different shows and movies that you watch, the mind is always going to be bored. So these characters, they have to do something to develop themselves into the strongest character for them to be battling against other characters who are just like them. So even when you lose in life, you're supposed to be losing in order to succeed, because if you're not succeeding, then you are obviously going to be failing. But the thing is though, you only are failing if you believe that you are a failure, failing in your failures. But you are not a failure just because you are failing in your failures. Because in order for you to fail, you have to be able to understand how successful you already are. So of course you're so successful, and no matter what, you're going to fail in your success, because it's inevitable, obviously. So we understand that. Give yourself more grace, because when you're saving your energy, now you're able to transfer that energy from other distractions outside of yourself. You're able to give it within yourself as well, in order to ascend into the hierarchy of the vacuum of this construct that we cannot comprehend just yet. So now when you save your energy, you have to understand too, your health is what matters, because if you're not healthy minded, you can't comprehend their mindset. Because for one, you can't talk down on these higher beings, because for one, they're being what they want to be. They're everything and nothing. And on top of that, they're so enlightened to the point where they can be sent in any form that you never comprehended before. And they can plant themselves into human beings, because for one, what is a human being? But they can plant themselves into these different lower, what's the word? These lower bodies that have no identity of what body that they are capable of living in. Because for one, you gotta understand too, these archangels or these archdemons, they only govern the whole grid that we're in by the net that we're captured by mentally. They do that because they understand that we don't understand what war we are up against. We don't understand that we're actually fighting ourselves. We're not even fighting them. All they're doing is they're just watching us fight ourselves. Literally. So it's like whenever people are talking bad about them, they want that, because it's just like you're talking bad about us, not knowing that we created what you think you are. And you can't even comprehend that we are you and you are us. But people gotta understand too, and the thing is too, my ebook is called Heaven, the Rise and Fall of Consciousness, basically. And I'm gonna give you a little synopsis of what's going on, how I came to this conclusion, or this whole statement, or this whole ideology. Because from what we understand as well, that these, I don't like calling them angels, but these beings, these entities, these species, they were created. Understand that they were created separately, individually. That's why they came up with all these ideologies that we mentally are enslaved in, because they are, basically it's all about jealousy too. Because we gotta understand as well that our DNA, when you unlock your junk DNA, you understand as well that the Almighty placed its DNA physically into your embodiment. That's exactly why you're able to procreate. Those demonic programs or these hierarchies of angels, these higher orders, they cannot procreate. That's exactly why the story of the giants or the watchers, whatever the case may be, that's exactly why they descended from their enlightenment and they came down to mock the Almighty's plagiarized simulation of games, basically on the throne. Not talking about Game of Thrones either. So when they did that, that's why I said health, because for one, your health is your wealth. Because if your health is, then you don't want to say, hey, okay, anyways, but your health is your wealth, because for one, what the hell are you looking at? I'm just making a video. But anyways, hey, your health is your wealth, because if you're not being healthy minded, then you're not able to rise your frequency above what is governing itself into, meaning that you have to take care of what you watch, what you listen to. So every single day, why are you listening to rap music? That, and the thing is too, there's different categories of rap music, but it's like you're listening to rap music that's derogatory, or it's bringing you down on a lower level. So it's like you got people talking about killing, stealing, robbing, fucking on hoes, what, like sex rings, prostitution, all that stupid ass shit, right? But there's other rap music that can help let you become a millionaire, motivate you, affirmations in there. It's just a different flow. Like you're cruising down on the highway or something and you play that rap music. That's the type of music that you should be listening to. But R&B, jazz, pop, like, well, there's different categories of music, but change your music frequencies. That's the thing too. People are playing their music in 440 hertz. So it's like if you change it to 432, 458, 739, 999. And the thing is too, you may not have music in those categories, but you can play sound frequencies in those hertz, basically, or in those tones, basically. Yeah, so basically in those tones. So when you're doing that, you don't have to always hear lyrics every single day. Now, of course you can, that's up to you, but listen to podcasts, audiobooks, make your own book, listen to your own videos, or make your own audiobook as you're driving or you're going to work or whatever the case may be, and then post that for other people to see or witness. Mind what you're watching on TV, even what you're playing. What games are you playing? So it's like shooting games or fighting games. It's like, yeah, you got the blood, you got people getting killed, all this stuff. I'm not telling you what to play, what not to play, but that's just plaguing your mind. Because imagine you're playing the same, like Call of Duty, for example. I haven't even bought the new Call of Duty yet, and I may, but I don't know. But imagine playing the same exact simulation over and over and over. You seen somebody get killed, you respawn. You kill somebody, they respawn. You get killed, you respawn. So you're doing the exact same game, and when the match is over, you're waiting for a lobby, you sit there, you're chilling, you're probably on your phone. Next thing you know, the match starts, and you're doing the exact same thing over and over. But the thing is though, you got so many things that you want to accomplish, but you're not even accomplishing what you're accomplishing because you're too distracted by video games. Now the thing is too though, you can play games when you're done with your work. That's the other thing too. What are you working for? If you hate what you're doing, then don't work at it. Don't work into it. Don't even work for it. Don't work for somebody who's enslaving you into you feeding them in their utopia mentally. So it's like, if you don't want to work for somebody, work for yourself, but you have to be consistent in your works or your habits. You have to formulate an agenda. You have to formulate a plan and organize yourself and put ideas into fruition every single day. So you have to actually be counterproductive from what you want to do and do what you don't want to do. So what you don't want to do is what you should be doing. So you don't want to get up and go to work every day or work on yourself or go work out, but you have to do it. Another thing too, health. So I already said health, but health as far as exercising as well. So right now, you know, I was walking for a little bit outside, breathing in air, just embracing yourself, going like grounding, being around nature, being around this environment, this enlightenment, because the one you gotta understand too that in order for you to comprehend them, you have to be able to be outside of your mindset or your ego, because your ego does not want to be outside just chilling, just doesn't want to do that. But the thing is, though, you gotta understand too, they put you in a house for a reason. So your house is literally your own Tesseract too. Your house is your own toy box. Your house is your own prison as well. So even when you go into your room, your kitchen, your bathroom, your other people's room, whatever the case may be, you're literally still in 4 squares. You're in corners. So you're literally cornered by your mindset. So if you have a bad day and you're not healthy minded, then you're going to project those negative thoughts onto the walls or into your mind or to the floor, into your bed. So it's like when you come home from a bad day at work or school or whatever the case may be, you're laying down with negative thoughts. So these thoughts, you're basically laying around them. And the thing is too, when you're thinking it, when you're saying it, when you're hearing it, when you're feeling it, then of course these feelings that you're feeling will be making you think about a negative way before you go to bed at night. So of course on your bed, you're laying down a negative thought. So when you go to bed, what do you expect to be? A negative mindset as you go into a higher ascension outside of your body. So when you leave your body, of course they'll enslave your ass, because look at how weak-minded you are. Another thing too, being strong-minded and disciplined. When you're strong-minded, that's when you're going to be able to be disciplined, because for one, before you even go into the astrals to fight them off, you have to be able to understand why you're going to fight them off in the first place. Because for one, you're not going to be fighting giants. You can't fight a mirage of your perception. It makes no sense. You'll be fighting, like, you know how in your dreams when you're fighting slow, that's exactly what you'll be doing. You'll be fighting in slow motion. So it's literally like Dragon Ball Z. So it's like you can't fight an angel. It's not going to work. So it's like when you try to sit there and combo them, no, they're going they dodge at every hit that you try to make towards them. And it won't work. So you have to understand how you can work with them. And I can't say for them, because you working for them is working for yourself. So working with them, how can you work with them? By doing all 3 of those categories right there. And it's way more than that, but I don't want to make this video too long anyways. But you have to be able to be mentally disciplined and strong-minded. That's exactly why I said save your energy, because once you do that, what are you working for outside of yourself? Because physically and spiritually, what are you going to be in life? Especially spiritually, because we are all spiritually enslaved anyways. But for you to be free outside of yourself, you have to be able to give yourself to the Almighty Creator. So you have to be able to stay loving, caring, appreciative, be compassionate, be kind, show gratitude every single day, say your affirmations, meditate every single day, or pray, do whatever you want. But when you're praying and you're meditating, do that with sincerity, do that with knowing. Don't ask for anything, because for one, imagine you're made in the image of God and you're asking God for what you already have. So it's like, why even pray in the first place when you're praying for what you already know you have? So it's like when you're praying, just say thank you, just talk to the Creator. Even when you're meditating, talk to, or you're being mindful, talk to the Creator, because once you're doing it, the Creator understands what you're asking or what you're going to ask, what you won't ask. But the Creator knows your intentions, so you understand that. Now, once you got all these things broken down, because you can go deeper than that anyways, but those 3 categories right there, or 4, they'll still help you ascend into a higher enlightenment. So now we leave our body, boom. So as we go to bed or as we're resting, you're having an OBE, even an NDE, but an OBE, out of body experience. So now you're out of your body. You gotta understand too, in these higher realms, for one, you are in, there is no ocean at this point, because for one, you are literally the element of the ocean. And the ocean is a made up concept that comes from a title of your entitlement. On top of that, when you're in the vacuum of this space with a construct, because space don't exist, but the construct of your mind, because your mind is expanded outside of its own timeline, because time does not exist when you're outside of your body. So now when you leave your body, you're able to see everything and anything that you want and that you did not want to see, and you will be able to see whatever you want to see. And the thing is too, you can literally document that and bring those codes right back to this reality right here. But once again though, you gotta stay healthy, you gotta save your energy, gotta also eat healthy, exercise, and be outside of your body and give back to nature. Once you're doing that, so once you leave your body, you are basically the construct of constructs. So you are literally God, but you're not the Almighty, but you are the Almighty. I'm lying to you through my truth. Now, when you understand that, you'll be able to see the envisioning of this Tesseract, or this mindset that you are programmed to be enslaved by. That's exactly why in my video too, when I talked about the divine feminine, that's when I mentioned, no, it was a different video than that. I made so many videos I don't even know. But I know I had a video recently and I was talking about the Tesseract. And so with this thing right here, it's this black cube with Saturn, Jupiter, all of that. So by them having this cube, when you unfold it, that's your mind being resurrected on the cross or crucified on the cross. So now when you resurrect your spirit, you're going to ascension. You're able to see this cube. Now understand too, the Almighty is literally walking right with you, observe yourself through itself as yourself. Now, when you got this cube right here in your hand, you'll be able to understand the four corners once again in your household. Don't forget, you're in your household, by the way, unless you're homeless. But you see your mindset is glowing, by the way. It's glowing because, for one, your mind is overstimulated on DMT because you have transcended and you have moved dimensions in a higher dimension of your mindset, because dimensions only exist in your mindset. So now you're above the 9th dimension at this point. So you're above 5D, you're above 3D, you're above 60, 70, all of that. Once you leave there, you're understanding that now you can do whatever you want. But then, see, here's the catch though. In order to get higher and higher, you have to be able to understand that, for one, you got two choices. You can either go and observe your realities, or you can go into a higher heavenly realm, because people think that they can't observe heavenly realms, but you can, because you're still there as well. So now once you go above and beyond these realms that you're in the construct of, you have to be able to create that ascension or the elevator effect of your mindset. So as you keep ascending and transcending, now you're on the surface level of the heavenly realms that you are already into, because you're intuitively already there with them. So now when you're with them, you understand as well that, for one, they have no physical form, but of course in your mindset it has to perceive them. They will form themselves into a gigantic mindset of expansion, because, for one, their spirit is so large to the point where it's overwhelming, to the point where you may wake up and be like, what the fuck was that? Exactly. Don't kill yourself. So that's why I say you have to be mentally disciplined in order to comprehend them, because, for one, they're not comprehended by the comprehension of incomprehensions or incomprehensible comprehension. So you have to be able to comprehend your own uncomprehensive mindset. Now when you see them, they're large and they're overwhelming, but then they're welcoming though, depending on who you are, because of course there are higher ranks of higher rankings of orders. Therefore, what order got you into these orders or these doorways or these gateways of portals of your mind? So now when you enter that portal of your mindset, for one, they have to be able to accept you. So it's like a brotherhood or a sisterhood of divine beings once again. So that's exactly why many are called but few are chosen. That's exactly why I'm here to tell you, to speak to you about what they're actually going to tell me through you, through them to you. So now from them to me to you, understand that, for one, they're going to tell you that, so you can ask them whatever you want, but the thing is too, they'll already answer your question before you even ask the question that you already questioned your answer into. When you ask them, why are we at war? What's this? What's that? From my experience, me asking these higher beings, what's going on? How can I be able to be my better self? What's the war about? All that. My understanding was, from one, we are just at war with our own mental enslavement, because we are mentally enslaving ourselves through our unconscious choices. So consciously choose to be more wise in your dumbfounded ways. It's just that simple. Because of course they don't have to talk about anything else, because you already know everything that you wanted to know. So by you knowing that, you can be able to see them for what they are. And then once you see them for what they are, they can form themselves into other shapeshifters or deities or archangels or leeches or astral embodiments of hydras, just higher mindsets or hive minds. Once you understand that too, you can be able to walk around and you'll be able to see other divine legions of angelic frequencies as well. And the thing is too, a lot of times too, you'll be able to be in the white hole and the black hole singularity. So singularity, you'll be in a moment of the present time period that you are currently not able to comprehend. Once you see them for what they are, they'll be able to descend and go into the abyss of lower mindset. So for example, somebody can die right now today, but then when they wake up outside of their body or into their body, a different body, as they're born into the hospital, wherever they're born into, you can see the divine beings descend down into that body. So you'll be able to, so as you walk with them, they'll show you like what they're doing every single day, because it's like how you go into a factory or a warehouse or a school or your job, whatever the case may be, or even just online. You can see them talking, you can see them communicating amongst each other, and they have jobs to do to be with us, basically. So they're basically your guardians, so they're fighting against your own guardian angels of their guardianship. So by them shipping their mindset off into a lower environment, they're doing that because they've been understood who they were and what they were. Because for one, in order to be like them, you have to be able to be like them. In order to be like them, you have to be like them. You have to embody what they are being, because for one, they're not human. That's why I tell you, everybody's not a fucking human being. Because what is a human being? What are you being? Well, you're not a human, you're consciousness. So we understand that. You leave this ideology of titles. So once you leave these words, once you become at peace, and then you do what you got to do for this reality, and you just work for Almighty every single day, you have your purpose, and you do what you got to do to help yourself and your family, or yourself basically, then when you really transcend and you leave your body, you can go and be a higher deity, and you can do whatever the fuck you want, because that's where peace and love is. There is no peace and love down here, so you find that within your mindset from being spiritually free from your own liberation that you enslaved yourself in through the mental enchainment of your bloodline. That's exactly why you can't stay on the surface. You're basically flying above levitation. So it's like, if you can bring that back mentally and go back every single day, if we all collectively could go into our mindsets and see each other in the astrals, and we can go and ascend together. It's an elevator, by the way. So when you go into a hotel, you don't even have to press a button. For one, they had to accept you and even bring you up there, because you have to have faith in what you know, because you got to be chosen to know what they know. Because what they know is exactly why going way too fast. That's exactly why Luciferians are so prominent in our dimension right now, because they got their knowledge from these deities, obviously. That's exactly why they won't push this message out there, because they fear what we already know. So when you understand that, collectively, we could understand how to work with them and understand and talk to them and communicate with them. They will present themselves to us every single day. That's exactly why when you look up in the sky, you see clouds. When you see the sun, when you see when you just see the ocean above your head, they are right there watching you. So wave at the observers who are experimenting on your mindset. You are literally you are governed by and embodying higher experimental observers who experimented on your DNA. That's exactly why when you see them descend into bodies, they're snatching our consciousness. Because for one, what will you do about it? That's exactly why the people who are being what they're being, they're not real people. That's exactly why the people who know so much, they become famous for what they know, because they worked hard for it. Or some people will sell out for it. But either way it goes, don't go that route. Be disciplined, stay consistent, and love what you do, no matter how long it takes. Delayed gratification is the best thing, because instantly when you get it, you won't want it no more. But delayed gratification feels so good, because look at how long it took for you to become great at what you already were. That's the message I have for today, man. I mean, I could go on and on, but I just want to get this video out. I got to post on Instagram and TikTok. So, but other than that, though, I appreciate y'all for watching. Just know that these realms are here for us to have fun in. You didn't come here to work for anybody. You didn't come here to be enslaved by them. Because basically, if you're enslaved by angelic frequencies, you're literally enslaved by God's mindset. It's just that simple. And on top of that, God and Satan don't even exist to themselves, because they would never call themselves that, but Satan would. Satan does not even exist to itself. So you gotta understand as well that, I thought I was done, I guess I'm still going. But you just have to be able to understand what you stand for in life, because you can't stand along with them. They're not able to be next to anybody but themselves anyways. And they don't accept just anybody coming up into their pathway or their gateways of their own environments that they are living in, because they're just purified. They are literally a purification of enlightenment. So they're so enlightened that enlightenment can't comprehend that enlightenment. It'll look and be like, you know what, that's way too bright for me. Exactly. That's exactly why mentally you are sleeping in the dark and you're scared of it. So you have to turn the night light on. But for them, it's always light outside in their darkness. That's exactly why they are duality. So what duality are you going to be walking into in order to leave your body and be able to pick a side? Not even pick a side. What are you going to fight for when it comes down to the spiritual warfare? Because it'll always be spiritual warfare against them, no matter what. But how can you get to them and say, why? Why? And then when we understand that, because the thing is too, they mentally enslave us, because for one, we don't want to come together and stop them for what they're doing, because we fear them, not knowing that you just fear yourself. But they can't stop us in numbers. So if we cooperate with each other mentally, then of course they'll be like, you know what, all right, we're going to stop with this simulation that you are enslaved in, and we're going to come together and we'll finally reveal ourselves to you, and then we'll have a new heaven and a new enlightenment of earth or hell that you are stuck in. Once you do that, you don't have to keep reincarnating back into this shithole anymore. But what's a shithole when you were born into a shithole that you love being in? So therefore, the world is not shitty, it's your mindset. You don't hate yourself, you just don't love what you don't hate about yourself, because what you don't hate about yourself is what you love about yourself. So what you love about yourself is what you hate about yourself anyways, because love and hate have to coexist with each other anyways. So they do that for a reason, because for one, the Almighty is observing all of us, all of his creations in one simulation. But that one simulation that you're stuck in has more simulations that you can jump out of and go right into. But like I said earlier though, you have a choice to make. So you can go into your other observations in other dimensions and observe yourself in different realities and get deja vu. But if you want to go and see these deities for what they are and actually talk to them, that's when you'll know, like, you are destined to understand where they're coming from and what they're doing and why they're doing what they're doing, because you can't stop them from doing what they're doing. So if you can't stop them, don't even join them. Just communicate with them and ask them what they are doing and why they're doing it, so we understand that. If they don't want to stop what they're doing, you have to astrally and quantumly leap into that dimension quickly, by the way, because for one, their intentions are sometimes purified, but sometimes they are sadistic and sinister. So if you run into a sinister group of divine angelic frequencies, you better hurry up, depending on if you're not scared, because fear should not exist, because fear is a feeling temporarily. So when you don't fear them, they'll fear you, because it's like, damn, you don't fear us and you're tiny, but you don't fear us. Okay, come over here, my child, what do you want? So now when you talk to them, they'll be like, okay, so this is why you're here, this is what we're doing, we'll tell you. And then boom, when you get that information intuitively, you descend down, you wake up, open your eyes, open your camera lens, you journal down what you thought about, but once again, you save your energy and you work for a higher purpose. And then you understand that, from one, you cannot help anybody in this dimension. You have to guide them to the water, never make them drink that shit. But when you make videos, or you journal, or you just make books, or you start doing audiobooks, or you just start living for you, loving, and then you have a higher frequency of spirit that you're already living in, that you're already observing in, therefore you'll be able to do whatever you want, because they will be working with you and for you, because they fear you more than you fear them. Don't forget, they cannot create, they can only harvest, and they can only procreate by being just like you. They want to be like you for a reason. That's exactly why we are down here. They love you more than you love yourself. That's exactly why they had to enslave your mind in this black cube that Saturn and Jupiter are governing our mindset in. That's exactly why every day you're under mind control. The sun is not out right now, but it's light outside. How is that possible? So what enlightenment are you watching outside of yourself when you go into those different dimensions above your mindset? Have a great day, God and Goddess.